Dope is what flows in this fam's DNA. Dope is what flows in this fam's DNA.
What's good, everybody, and welcome to Dope Interviews, brought to you by the mighty 19 Media Group. I'm your host, Warren Shaw, and we are back. We're so happy that you are with us, tapping in wherever you may be. And as always, you know what it is. Make sure you give us a 5-star rating on your favorite podcast platform, or if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like, hit the subscribe button, and do all those great things. And as always, shout out to Rich Kid Clothing for the continued support of the 19 Media Group family. Now, that's out of our way. We have a special guest. You know what we do here on Dope Interviews. He's been patiently waiting. He's a producer. He's a director, currently involved in one of TV's best shows and taking that show on the road. Here to talk about the Masked Singer National Tour, it's my guy, Mark Swanhart, better known as Swanee. Swanee, what's good, family? How you feeling?
Hi. Thank you for having me this morning.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure. Our pleasure for sure. So obviously we got to get to the Masked Singer specifically, but we got to let the people know a little bit about you. Can't just dump right in. You know what I mean? You got to give some context. So tell the people a little bit about yourself, how you got involved with the industry as a whole.
Yeah, many ways into this industry, right? A lot of people have different paths. I kind of came in the back door. I started out as a dancer. I grew up near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Little coal mining town outside of there, Vinco, Pennsylvania, Johnstown, Pennsylvania, in that area. My dad was a coal miner for many years, suggested I start taking dance classes because Lynn Swann was taking dance classes for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Started taking dance classes and really stuck with that after high school and then into college at Point Park College in Pittsburgh. Did the kind of concert dance world. Hubbard Street Dance Company, River North Dance Company, Joseph Holmes Dance Company. And then I ended up doing a Broadway tour, Fosse, and then came out to Los Angeles, where I am now, to choreograph. And I did that for Baz Luhrmann, who currently has Elvis out, did Moulin Rouge. I choreographed his Broadway show, La Boheme. That was in New York. And then after that have done things with everyone from the Rolling Stones to Celine Dion to LL Cool J. I just did the Simone Biles tour out in the across the United States in the arena. I've done the Bachelor tour, Dance with Stars tour, and now Masked Singer.
Man, that's quite the resume. And as I like to say, when a lot of my guests, they stun on me a little bit. You know what I mean? They flex. So that was a big flex, honey.
Those are the highlights. There are a ton of lowlights in this business. I always say it's about, I would say, the business of entertainment, especially here in Los Angeles, about 90% failure. So yeah. I think your show isn't long enough for me to give the list of my failures, Warren. Just the highlights.
Well, I appreciate your humility, honestly and truly. Again, I think when I do get the chance to talk to actors, actresses, things of that nature, they do talk about that. It is a long road, and it's very much like how people live on social media. You only see the best parts of it, but you don't see the 500 takes or the things that went wrong, in essence, to make that post, whatever it was. But living life in this lane is very, very difficult. So I appreciate, again, your candor with that for sure. So you've worked with some shows, you've been on tour, you've done a lot of great things. So now you're dealing with one of the more popular shows on TV right now. So what were some of your favorite shows growing up, or things that you even watch right now outside of The Masked Singer?
Oh, wow. So, for me, I like a good story. So right now I'm into Ozark, the 4th season. So I'm just getting into it. I don't watch too much stuff, but because I'm constantly kind of keeping up also in the live. I prefer live. I like live stage. So getting out and seeing those things is really, really important to me. But Ozark right now, man, that's the one for me.
You and I, we're brothers from another mother, apparently. Yeah, man. Ozark was we finished it, and yeah, it's something else, man. Great selection. So the Masked Singer is doing crazy numbers, right? Has a ton of star power on TV. Is there any direct input from the regular cast, those judges, Nick, et cetera, that go into producing the tour as it stands?
Really, the tour is its own separate thing, right? They give their blessing. Once they give their blessing, we're off and running. So definitely things go through that side. They have the last say. It is their product, right? So, but once we take it out on tour, they give the good to go. We're out on our own and doing our thing.
So how will the judges be decided, I guess, in each stop?
Good question. You are the judge. So that's what's different about this one, because and also if we were to do, say, same celebrities in every city, the gig is up, right? The word's going to get out after the very first one. So we do a new celebrity in every single city that we go to, and there's one reveal each night. And really, the audience are the ones that are really judging, and they're the ones that get the guests throughout the show.
So obviously we talked about, again, its overall appeal, but what made you specifically want to be involved in taking this show on tour?
Yeah, this one specifically was that the door was wide open as far as what you could do with it. There are certain things that, Dancing with the Stars is very much like this, or The Bachelor is very much like this. And for Masked Singer, the world was kind of wide open. If you thought the television show was wacky and wild, the tour is doubly wacky and wild. This is an original story, so it's part pop concert. We have Natasha Bedingfield as our host. So she'll be doing some of her big hits like Pocket Full of Sunshine and Unwritten, but she also does covers. She does Blinding Light from The Weeknd. She'll do Purple Rain from Prince. So you get this kind of pop concert, which I really like. That's my background also, is putting up pop concerts. And then you also get this kind of story told. We're part theater, part Masked Singer television show, and pop concert, and that's why I liked it. It's a hybrid.
Oh, this is a production. So, I mean, you're definitely on the same wavelength here in terms of even my questioning. What went into the selection of Natasha as the host, and was it hard to convince her to go on 50 cities with you kind of across and make this large commitment given her schedule and all her overall popularity?
And really touring can be tough, right? That's the honest truth. It's like you said, it's 50 cities. You're in a bus. It's a nice bus. It's not a school bus.
Right.
So you're traveling across the city and or across the country in style. It didn't take much. It's just such a great product to go out there with. And she's able to sing eight songs a night. Natasha kind of was our first choice. We went with our number one draft pick, and we got our number one. We got her number one because she has such a strong presence on stage. She's an incredible performer, but at the same time, she is a host. And I've seen her grow in that role throughout our rehearsals, and she takes it on. The audience is in safe hands with Natasha, and I feel that the show is in safe hands with her.
So there's some show notes about this production that, especially when it relates to Natasha and her probably most popular song, Unwritten. What does that song mean to you, and even its overall inclusion into this production of The Masked Singer?
Yeah, it really started with that song, to be quite honest. So another great question for me. Really, the idea in this show is that the characters have come to life, that there's nobody inside of them this time controlling them, right? Saying what they do. And we all kind of have that voice that's inside of us that feels a little bit controlling, right? And this is about stepping outside of that voice and really being yourself, right? And the rest of your story being unwritten, that it is unwritten. Sometimes we get in our own ways. My background, where I've come from, and I think that I have a story that I kind of have to follow. And this is kind of stepping outside of that and going, well, my story is really unwritten today. What am I going to do with my day today? What am I going to do with my life? And that is the undercurrent of the show. And I think where the magic of this show is that it does have a message, right? The silliness and the craziness of it is there, but underneath of it is this message. And I feel like, one of the keys to making this show, and one of my kind of rules is that I want to take you from up here where you're laughing and clapping, and all of a sudden just cut your legs out from underneath you, and you may be crying in the next moment. And I think this show really does that.
Ah, man, I think that's extremely well said. Tugging at the proverbial heartstrings a little bit, but in general, like, that is kind of the range of being a human, right? Again, you're gonna have those ups and downs, that roller coaster of emotions, Mark. I think that's extremely well said. This looks like a great time to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Bonafide.
And we're back with my guy, Mark Swanhart, as he discusses his work on the Masked Singer tour. Be sure to catch that tour coming to a city near you. Follow them on all social media at the Masked Singing Tour, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, the whole nine. Mark, so one of the biggest things about this show is the insane costumes. Like, the costumes are just wild. I don't know who's designing these things. God bless them. Hats off, because they're doing an amazing job. Some things hit and some things are just like, wow, that's really strange. But either way, it's going to capture your attention. What costume are you looking forward to most seeing on the tour?
Oh man, I'm seeing how people react to Baby. And you know, babies in real life can be wonderful bundles of joy, and they can also be terrifying, right?
Terrifying,
So
yes.
for you to warn, they're terrifying. So to see the reaction when Baby hits the, hits the stage each night is really funny, because we actually play it into a moment where you're allowed to have your reaction of half the audience has like, oh, there's Baby, and then half of them are terrified by it. So Baby, I think, is really, 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 really cool one. And I also got to go with Thingamabob too. Thingamabob and Baby have this kind of moment in the show that's interesting. So those two characters, I'm looking forward to seeing the reactions.
Good answers for sure. And yeah, I don't know how much you follow basketball, but
You do?
the Pelicans at one time had King Baby, and it was
Yes,
the most terrifying thing I'd ever seen in my life. So definitely, I said it can kind of go either way, for
you're
sure.
right, right?
So the city, like I said, it's going on many tours, like many cities, excuse me, right? Is there a city that you're looking forward to the most in terms of the stop?
I'm living in Los Angeles, right now. So I do want to see how Los Angeles. Everybody, when you go down the streets here in Los Angeles, every single billboard is something about TV, is about entertainment. So it's an entertainment town, and they've got to kind of can have a critical eye. So I like that. I like people coming to see it and get their reaction. So stopping in here, and then Newark, believe it or not, right just outside of New York. That's coming up this weekend, so anxious to see how people really accept it. I love seeing the critics. I love seeing the good stuff, the bad stuff. But so far, it's been really, really good reviews.
Yeah.
So it's been really cool to see.
Well, that's credit to you and your team and the work that you put into it, making it again. And it's just like, again, I have a heavy sports background. So when you go from city to city, the crowd can be a little different. You know what I mean? And a little overly critical in some spaces as well too. So you haven't found that just as of yet.
In some cities, it's interesting. They sometimes don't know how to react, right? Am I supposed to clap here? Am I supposed to yell here? And I think we allow you to know right off the top of the show that we don't take ourselves too seriously. So you don't have to take yourself too seriously. You're able to laugh and scream at the characters right off the bat. It's pretty apparent in the very, very beginning that pretty much anything goes in that theater.
So each stop along the tour allows you to have unique celebrities. Are there any specific celebrities in a specific city that you're like, oh man, I hope we can get them? I know you can't, reveal such a thing, but or anything that you're hoping for, even maybe even still working on
Yeah, that's really happening, now
in
even,
real time.
right?
Yeah.
There are these certain, and there's some celebs that are coming out. That's what's so cool, right? It is such a fun experience to be up on that stage that we are getting calls also to say, hey, do you have a person from Baltimore? Do you have your person for Newark? Do you have your person for Nebraska? So it's been pretty cool. Like we've gotten a lot of our picks, because as long as it fits within their schedule, they want to do it. It's not too much of their time. They get to come out and sing a song for the audience. They're out there for with our other characters. So it hasn't been too hard to find the people that we want.
Man, wow. Man, this is just smooth sailing for, what I mean? I guess in that regard, I know there's a lot of logistics.
Yeah, there's, and putting up any type of show. You mentioned my team. I should say my team, the team. Yeah, I was a director for this one, but there's some fantastic people that we have. We have an Emmy award-winning costumer who did, the designs for these costumes for the dancers, Daniela. She does everything from Dancing with the Stars to, she does everything under the sun. She did my Simone Biles tour. Scotty Wynn is doing our LED and our graphics that happen on our screen. And Casey Money, who has the best name in the business, is our choreographer for the show. So it was really a really, really great team that came together. And Zeke and Greg, who came and did our lights.
So our interview is coming to a close, but I got a couple last questions here for you, Swanee, and I do appreciate you taking the time. Sounds like you're on the West Coast, so it might be super early there for you. So I do appreciate you for real. Are there other shows that you'd like to be involved in, kind of that are on this magnitude? I mean, I know that's looking ahead a little bit, but I mean, this is a great opportunity, and it's going to be hard to top this one, honestly. You know what I mean? So, are there other shows that are on TV, similar ilk, if you will, that you'd potentially want to work with and see if you could take them on tour?
Yeah, I mean, really, I want to get back out there with Simone Biles. I love her message. Simone, I think, still has more things to say. We do talk. I would love to get her back out there. I'm a big fan of Kevin Hart. So in some talks with the Kevin Hart company, we've been going back and forth to do something with him. So I'm very, very excited about that.
Nice.
I'm also a big fan of a lot of the podcasts that are kind of murder, mystery, vanishing. And I think there's some really cool things to take some of those. There's some amazing podcasts right now that I think that would translate really, really well to come up on the stage and do something really interesting in that space also.
You are a super creative, and I think that's a great idea. And as a podcaster myself, I love that idea. Give us podcasters some love, you know what I mean, and take us out on tour. Even though I don't have a murder mystery show, but
well, it's so used to being in the ear, right? Which is cool. But to get that sort of in front of you on stage and bring those to life, I think in unique ways. Yeah. I think there's some future there.
So when the tour is done, that's a long way away now, right? It seems like that finish line is, some months away. But what's the first thing you're gonna do, man? What you gonna do to kick back and relax, when the tour is complete?
Oh man, when the tour is complete, their NFL football season's coming up. So I'm gonna dive deep into that. I do also what's called NFL Live. So I creative direct that every single year at the Super Bowl. So it's all the festivities around the Super Bowl, and I like to kind of just fall right into that. So football season will come around, and creatively I'll sink my teeth into that.
Oh man, so you would have earned a well-deserved rest, but it doesn't sound like you're actually going to take that. So,
that's where that's really where I feel most comfortable. When I'm sitting too long, I get a little bit antsy. So I like to keep working. I love my work.
Man. Well, the Masked Singer Tour definitely has the right person for the job, along with the great people that you're working with as well. If you are in one of these cities, make sure you check it out. Tickets are currently available. That is all the time we have for today. I want to thank my guy, Mark Swaney, for his time. Be sure to follow the Masked Singer on Tour again on all social media outlets. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at ShawSportsNBA or the show's handle at @dope_interviews. Rock with everything 19 Media Group. And this has been another dope interview, man. And we're out.
Thanks, Warren.
Together we stand, divided we never. The vision is one, striving for the better. Working as a team, working toward a dream. It's not even work when the team is the dream. On a united front, we got our own back. A band of brothers to counteract any attack. One heart in fact, forget what the blood say. Dope is what flows in this fam's DNA. So let's do it for the love, give to the max. Listen to opinion, but react to facts. And remember that together with a shh, but separate, just pieces of it. Dope is what flows in this fam's DNA. Dope is what flows in this fam's DNA.
Family represent like a tree with names on it. We're free, no chains on it. Relieved, the pain's gone, I can see. We come together like questions on a quiz. Mojo, Flow, and Viz, man, you know what it is. And if ignorance is bliss, you're gonna hate this lesson. Organized intellect like a tropical depression. My symbol is the cross, a mic, and ghost peppers. Cause I'm just a black sheep growing up to be a shepherd. Moonlighting as a weapon to protect the children. Every brother is a father, dynasties we're building. Max, J, and K, Bay, and Isaiah, next level of the family foundation. Understand me?